Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is according to the way you see the videos, right? My dear class 10 children, as per your request, I am very happy to take Unit 1, Prose, his first flight, right? His first flight lesson, just as a revision for your examination. You are going to write your home test next week. So, you have to study Unit 1, Prose, Poem and the book back exercise. So, in the form of revision, let me teach you this first lesson again for your reference. And the students who have missed the class, it will be like a new lesson for you. You please listen and understand it. It is a very simple lesson. It talks about self-confidence. How to overcome fear. Fear will make you not to achieve anything. Fear will suppress you. Fear will not make you to move further, right? But self-confidence will break the chains of fear and it will help you to achieve. This is the moral of the story, right? His first flight, it is a story about some birds, a seagull's family, right? Seagull. Seagull is a bird which we can see only in the sea, right? The name of the bird is seagull. Seagull's first flight. This lesson is written by Liam O'Flaherty. Liam O'Flaherty, an Irish writer who belonged to Ireland, he has written this story, his first flight. Are you all happy to listen to the story once again or for the first time? Yes. This story, first let me tell you the gist of the story, then we will read line by line and understand the story better. A young seagull, right? It was afraid to fly. Seagull is blessed with the quality of flying. Okay, it will flap its wings and it will fly very well. Okay, facing against the wind, and it will dive and it will catch the fish and it will live. It will live in sea. Okay, it will live in sea. We can see seagull only in the sea, not in the seashore, the midst of the sea, right? When ships and all sail in the ships, when they sail on the sea, they will find a seagull in the sea, right? Then it can float on the water or it can stay in some cliff, mountains which is located near the sea. Likewise, the seagulls live in the sea. So, a seagull's family, a mother, father, brother, sister, like that, it is a family. In that family, one seagull was afraid to fly. It was a young seagull. It was afraid to fly, so it was on the ledge. Right? You imagine there is a steep mountain. Okay. There was a. Just imagine. Right? This is sea. It is a cliff. Okay, it is a mountain. Right? And the seagull, it is standing on the ledge. Okay, it is on the ledge. A big mountain, a steep mountain, and sea beneath. Beneath is sea. And the young seagull was at the top of the cliff. It was afraid to fly. All the other seagulls flew away. Okay, the eggs hatched. All the young seagulls came out. And when the appropriate time comes, all the other seagulls had flown away, but this seagull alone did not fly. It was just waiting, okay, unable to fly, it was just there. The parents, they were very clever, okay, they left the seagull. They wanted the seagull to fly, but the seagull didn't fly, so they left the seagull and they went to the other side of the cliff. Okay, another cliff. Okay, they went to the other side. They went to the other side of the cliff. Now, this young seagull, it was hungry. It couldn't have any food. So, it was there for 24 hours, it was there. And then, it was trying to fly. It was trying to fly, but it didn't fly. It was eating the food, okay, the waste food which was lying in the nest. It was trying to eat and it was trying to manage, but nothing happened. In the meantime, the brother seagull, everyone, they flew and even they dived and even they hunted the fish on themselves. Okay, they dived and they ate fish. They were all happily doing. Father was teasing, mocking. Mother was calling the seagull to fly, but it was afraid. Then what? The mother did a very wonderful thing. The mother took some fish. It came very close to the seagull. Okay, it came very close to the seagull, and it just stopped. When it came very close to the seagull, it just stopped in the air, and the young seagull dived to catch the fish. It fell down, but it didn't fall. It started to fly. It was the first flight. This is the gist of the story. Understood? Young seagull was afraid to fly. Mother motivated the young seagull to fly, and at last the young seagull flew. This is the story. The whole story is this. That's all. It's very simple. So here the young seagull was afraid. Self-confidence was lacking, and mother induced, motivated the young seagull to fly. Finally, the young seagull flew. This is the story. Understood? Now shall we read the lesson one line by line, and we will understand it better. Who wrote the story and his first flight? Bio-Botany. Okay, Bio-Botany has written the story, his first flight. Right. The young seagull was alone on his ledge. The lesson starts in this manner. It was alone on his ledge. Ledge means the shelf, the projection which is on the cliff. Okay, the shelf-like structure. It was alone on the edge of the rock. Right, it was alone. Why was the young seagull alone? Because his family members left him. Why did they leave him? Because everyone knew how to fly, so they went away. This young seagull didn't know how to fly, so it was alone on the ledge. His two brothers and sister had already flown away the day before. The day before, that is yesterday, his two brothers and sister. So totally, what is the family structure? Father, mother, two brothers, one sister, young seagull. So 4 children and a father, mother, right? Totally 6 members. 2 brothers and sister had already flown yesterday, the day before. They flew away from the ledge, right? And somehow, when he had taken a little run forward to the brink of the ledge and attempted to flap his wings, he became afraid. Brothers, sister had already flown away. Young seagull tried to fly. He was afraid, but he tried. Okay, somehow he was trying, somehow he was trying to flap his wings to fly, but afraid. The fear of flying made the seagull stop flying. Okay, it was afraid. Okay, then what happened? The great expanse of sea stretched down beneath, and it was such a long way down. See, the sea, the great sea, it was stretching, far stretched. It was a big sea. And it was long down. It is up. It is long down. The great sea is stretched. So the sight. See, the young seagull saw. Oh, big sea. It is very down. Okay. Fear stopped the young seagull flying. He felt certain that his wings would never support him, and so he bent his head and ran away back to the little home under the ledge where he slept at night. See what happened? It was an evening time. All the other seagulls flew away. It was all alone because it couldn't fly. He tried to fly, but the sea and the steep edge, the mountain, okay, because it was miles down, long, that is the distance is so high. So it was afraid, so it didn't fly. It bent his head down, he put his head down. Okay, when will we keep our head straight? When we have confidence. When no confidence, that's all. We will put our heads down. So he put his head down and it went back to the place in the near the ledge. The nest was there where the young seagull was hatched. Okay, it went to the nest and it slept that night. On day night over. Right? That is the first paragraph. Understood? Right. Even when each of his brothers and his little sister, whose wings were far shorter than his own, ran to the brink, flapped their wings and flew away. The brothers And the little sister, okay, so he might be the third one. The brothers and the little sister, though the wing is shorter than the young seagull's wing, they ran and they flapped their wings and flew away. But he failed to muster up courage. The young seagull failed to collect courage. Okay, that is the problem. He failed to muster up, gather courage to plunge, which appeared to him so desperate. His father and mother had come around, calling to him shrilly, scolding him, threatening, to let him starve on his ledge unless he flew away. But for the life of him, he could not move. Father and mother, they were flying, calling shrilly in a high-pitched voice. They were calling, "Hey, come on, fly! Otherwise we will not get food." They were threatening, scolding. But he was afraid that he would die. For the life of him, he didn't fly. Okay, two paragraphs over. Let me ask the first question. Why did the seagull fail to fly? Why did the seagull fail to fly? So how to write the answer? From the question you frame the answer. The seagull failed to fly because it was afraid, or it didn't have the courage to fly. It didn't muster up the courage to fly. Okay, that is the answer. Number 2. What did the parents do when the young seagull failed to fly? What did the parents do when the young seagull failed to fly? Answer from the question you form. Okay. When the young seagull failed to fly, the parents flew around him, scolding him, threatening him that they would not give him food. Okay, that's all. Right, third paragraph. That was 24 hours ago. 24 hours had passed away. Night and the next day, evening had come. 24 hours had been passed away. Since then, nobody had come near him. No one had come near him. They left him. Do or die. Fly. If you want food, means fly. They left him alone. Okay, no one had come near him. The day before, all day long, he had watched his parents flying about with his brother and sister, perfecting them in the art of flight, teaching them how to skim the waves and how to dive for fish. Okay, now the two brothers and sister, they were all enjoying the art of flying, skimming through the air, cutting their wings. They were flying, diving and teaching. So the parents eagle, they were teaching the young ones how to do all these things. He had, in fact, seen his older brother catch his first herring. Herring is a silver fish. Okay, they will all travel in groups. The older brother, he dived and he caught the first fish. First hunting. He caught the first fish and he swallowed, gulped, one mouth. It went inside. Okay, it was very hungry. 24 hours it didn't eat. He saw his brother diving and catching the fish and eating. Right? Standing on a rock, while his parents circled around, raising a proud cackle. Okay, when the older brother, when he caught the fish, name of the fish herring, and when he was eating that, the parents, they were making proud cackle sound, proud sound. Yeah, yes, my son, you did it. You did hunting. Like that, they were very proud. Okay, and all the morning, the whole family had walked about on the big plateau midway down the opposite cliff, laughing at his cowardice. Opposite, there is another cliff, and there is a plateau. On the midway, there is a plateau. So all the family members, they gathered in the plateau, and they were making fun of him for his cowardice. Cowardice means what? Opposite of bravery. Because of lack of self-confidence, he became a coward. So they were mocking at him for his cowardice. The sun was now ascending the sky, blazing warmly on his ledge that faced the south. Okay, now the sun was ascending on the sky. Okay, it was going up and up. Right? He felt the heat because he had not eaten since the previous nightfall. From the previous night, the young seagull had not eaten anything, so it was very hot for the young seagull. Then he had found a dried piece of mackerel's tail. Okay, mackerel. What is the meaning of mackerel? It is another sea fish. Okay, mackerel's tail. Okay, the left out of the fish. The tail was there at the far end of the ledge. Okay, at the end of the ledge, there was a mackerel fish tail. So it went and ate that. Okay, it was very hungry. Would I get anything to eat? At the end of the edge, it saw a mackerel, the fish tail. Now there was not a single scrap of food left. Okay, only one tail was there. That also it had eaten, but there is no other food left. He had searched every inch, rooting among the rough, dirt-caked straw nest where he and his brothers and sisters had been hatched. He even gnawed at the dried pieces of eggshell. It was like eating a part of himself. First it ate the tail of mackerel's fish, and then it saw the nest was there. The nest. In the nest only, the brother, sister and he himself, they were all hatched. It went to the nest. Nothing was there. Only the eggshells. Okay, from the egg only they came out. The eggshells were there. It started to eat that shell. It was like eating himself. Like that the author had written. That much hungry. Okay, because young seagull, young bird. Okay, but because of fear, it couldn't fly. But my dear children, now tell me the answer. Seagull means by birth they are flyers. They could fly very well. But what made this young seagull to fly? Not to fly because of its lack of self-confidence. It thought, okay, it is very down and the sea is very big. How will my wings support me to fly? This thought only, thought process made the young seagull not to fly. Okay, now questions. Ready to answer? What was the first catch of the young seagull's older brother? Young seagull's older brother, first hunting, I said no, first catch. What was the first catch? The first catch of the older brother's, first catch of the young seagull's older brother was herring. Okay, herring means a silver fish which will always move in groups. Okay, that is the answer. Right? Herring. What did the young seagull manage to find in his search for food on the ledge? What did he find on the ledge? What food did he find on the ledge? The young seagull managed to find mackerel's tail and the eggshells out of which they were born, out of which they were hatched. Okay, only these two things it managed to find. Shall we go to the next one? Are you all understanding? So far, have you understood? Young seagull at the top, everyone went, it was very hungry, it got some food to eat, right? He then trotted back and forth from one end of the ledge to the other, his long grey legs stepping daintily, trying to find some means of reaching his parents without having to fly. But on each side of him, the ledge entered in a sheer fall of precipice, with the sea beneath, and between him and his parents there was a deep, wide crack. Parents are here. Okay, they are here. Even the brothers and all, they came down, died, they took the fish and they came here and they were all sitting here. Right, young seagull is there. Without flying, it wanted to reach the parents. Was it possible? No. It had to fly. You want to reach the parents, you have to fly. That's all. So what happened? Surely he could reach them without flying if he could only move northwards along the cliff face. But then on what could he walk? And then on what could he walk? There was no ledge and he was not a fly. And above him he could see nothing. The precipice was sheer and the top of it was perhaps farther away than the sea beneath him. Okay, there is another way. Maybe from the cliff it can go towards northwards and it can go to the side. But the precipice, okay, precipice means it is very perpendicular, it is vertical. Oh, he could not walk, it is a young seagull. Only thing is he can fly, but it cannot fly. So without flying, how to go? It is very difficult. So he stepped slowly out to the brink of the ledge and standing on one leg with the another leg hidden under his wing, he closed one eye, then the other and pretended to be falling asleep. Okay, so what the young seagull did, it wanted to attract the attention of the parents. So he went to the brink, edge of the ledge, and with one leg it was standing, and it put his head down, and it closed one eye, then it closed another eye, and it was acting as if it was sleeping. It was falling asleep, like that it was acting, right? He closed one eye and the other and pretended. Okay, still they took no notice of him. It was acting as if it was sleeping, but the parents, they did not take any notice of him. He saw his two brothers and his sister lying on the plateau, dozing with their heads sunk into their necks. His father was preening the feathers on his white back. Only his mother was looking at him. He closed his eyes and he was pretending, but no one observed him. So he opened his eyes and saw his family. They were on the opposite side. What they were doing? The brothers, they were sleeping. How? They put their heads in the, what is that? What is it written? They were dozing with their heads sunk into their neck. Okay, heads sunk into their neck. Just they were dozing, sleeping, and father was cleaning his feathers with his beak, and only the mother was looking at the seagull, right? She was standing on a little high hump on the plateau, her white breast thrust forward. Now and again she tore at a piece of fish and lay at her feet, and then scraped each side of her beak on the rock. The sight of the food maddened him. The mother seagull, she was having a fish. She tore the fish, and she will keep the fish, the flesh on the ground near her leg, and then she will scratch her beak, the two sides. Like that it was doing. The sight of the fish, the sight of the food maddened the young seagull because it was very hungry. The mother was having a fish. She was not eating. She was just taking the fish and keeping it in her, by her side. Okay. How he loved to tear food that way, scraping his beak now and again to wet it. He uttered a low cackle. His mother cackled too and looked at him. So it was tearing the fish. It was tearing the fish, the flesh of the fish, and then it will keep it down, and it will sharpen its beak, and then again it will tear the flesh. So how good, how tasty it will be. So the young seagull, it cried towards the mother. It cackled, something, she made a sound, and the mother also cackled back. Okay, and looked at him. Okay, now question. Yes. What did the young bird do to seek the attention of his parents? What did the young bird do to do the attention of his parents? The young bird stood at the brink of the ledge with one leg, closing his eye, and pretended as if it was sleeping. This is what the young seagull do to get the attention of the parents. What made the young seagull go mad? What made the young seagull go mad? The sight of the food. The mother was having food, the fish. The sight of the food made the young seagull go mad because it was very hungry. Okay, we are coming to the last part of the story. Come on, listen carefully. Are you all listening, following me up? Right. When I read the lesson, okay, when I read line by line, you can also read. Now, which page number we are in? Page number 4, right. Ga, 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 he cried, begging her to bring him over some food. Okay, the young seagull cried, ga, ga, ga. It was begging, mommy, give food. Like that it was crying. That is the meaning maybe. Ga, who are? She screamed back mockingly. Mother, so this is their language. Okay. Ga, ga, ga. That means, mommy, give me food. Ga, who are? No, I will not give. Maybe whatever it is, we don't know. But mockingly, okay, mockingly, mother replied. But he kept calling plaintively, and after a minute or so, he uttered a joyful scream. But the young seagull was continuously calling. Then suddenly it made a joyful scream. It was very happy young seagull. Suddenly it became very happy, right? His mother had picked up a piece of fish and was flying across to him with it. Why it made a joyful scream? Because the mother was flying towards him with a piece of fish on his beak. the young mother seagull was flying towards him. Right. He leaned out eagerly. Right. He leaned out eagerly, tapping the rock with his feet, trying to get nearer to her as she flew across. Okay, it was tapping the feet, and flapping the wing. Mummy is coming with food. It was so happy. And Mummy was traveling, okay, from there, coming towards the seagull with a piece of fish on its mouth, right? But when she was just opposite to him, the mother bird stopped. She halted, her legs hanging limp. The legs, there was no movement. Well, stopped flying. Her wings motionless. Her wings was motionless. Just on the air, it just stopped, halted, just opposite to the seagull. Okay, the piece of fish in her beak, almost within reach of his beak. Mother seagull, young seagull, it is on the ledge. Mother seagull, this much distance. Okay, if it does like this means it can take the fish. That much close it came, but it didn't come nearer, it stopped. Now there is a big gap. Okay, now what happened? He waited a moment in surprise. Young seagull, it was happily tapping the feet and everything. But mother bird came and stopped. This is the distance, very close, mouth to mouth. But it stopped. Okay, it stopped. So young seagull was surprised. Why mummy is not coming close to me? Like that young seagull surprised. Okay, wondering why she did not come nearer. And then maddened by hunger, he dived at the fish. With a loud scream, he fell outwards and downwards into space. His mother had swooped upwards. As he passed beneath her, he heard the swish of her wings. What happened? Mummy didn't come closer. So young seagull, because of the hunger, it jumped at the fish. Mummy flapped and flew upwards. That's all. The young seagull, it was falling downwards. Okay, mummy swooped upwards, and this young seagull, it came out of the ledge now. Now where is the young seagull? It is coming down. Right. Question: why did the young bird utter a joyful scream? Why did the young bird utter a joyful scream? The young bird uttered a joyful scream because he saw his mother coming towards him with a piece of fish in his mouth. Did the mother bird offer any food to the young bird? No. The mother bird did not offer any food to the young bird. Okay. Then a monstrous terror seized him and his heart stood still. He could hear nothing, but it only lasted a moment. The next moment, he felt his wings spread outwards. The wind rushed against his breast feathers, then under his stomach and against his wings. He could feel the tip of his wings cutting through the air. Terror seized him. It was falling down. But that lasted only for a moment. Only for a moment. He realized his wings came out from the breast. His wings came out. It started to fly. The wings started to cut the air. Okay. And it was flying now. He was not falling headlong now. He was not falling. He started to fly. He started to fly. He was soaring gradually. He was soaring, rising up gradually, downwards and upwards, downwards and upwards, right? He was no longer afraid. No longer afraid. He's doing. See, my dear children, when you learn to ride bicycle, can you imagine that experience? In the beginning, how they are riding as a small child. You are all studying 10th standard now. I hope everyone knows to ride bicycle. But when you were small, you will be wondering at the people who were riding bicycle. Okay, initially you also struggled that. But once you started to learn, how happily you will ride bicycle, isn't it? You will stretch out your hands or you will do all tricks in the bicycle. Same way. Now that bird was so happy, he was no longer afraid. He just felt a bit dizzy. Then he flapped his wings once and he soared upwards. A little bit dizziness because of hunger and tired and no sleep. But he collected all his power to soar upwards. He uttered a delightful scream and flapped them again. He soared higher, he raised his breast and banged against the wind. Ga, 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 ooh, la. His mother swooped past him, her wings making a loud noise. He answered her with another scream. Then his father flew over him screaming. Then he saw his two brothers and sister flying around him, soaring and diving. So all the family members, everyone came, all were flying around him. Happiness. Ah, ooh, la, ooh, ooh. Happiness. They were all making sound, shrilling sound, high-pitched sound, and they were flying and diving. Then he completely forgot that he had not always been able to fly and commenced to dive and soar, shrieking shrilly. Now he had forgotten. The thought is removed from the mind. He's flying, diving, and enjoying. Question. How did the bird feel when it started flying for the first time? How did the bird feel? The bird felt very happy. It cackled, it made high-pitched sound. It was flapping his wings and it was joyfully flying, forgetting that it did not know to fly. What did the young bird's family do when he started flying? When he started flying, all the young bird's family members, they came around him, supporting, showing their love and compassion towards him. They were all surrounding him, making lot of joyful noise. Final paragraph. He was near the sea now. Now they came to the sea. They all came to the sea. When they came to the sea, and finally it landed on the sea, it thought that it would sink. But it didn't sink. Okay, it landed on the sea. First the legs went inside. Come on, see. The green sea. His legs sank into it. He screamed with fright and attempted to rise again, flapping his wings. But he was tired and weak. When it landed on the sea, the legs went inside the sea. So he thought it would drown. So it was trying to fly away. But since it was very weak, it couldn't fly. So it landed again. Now this time the leg went inside and the body touched the water, but it was floating. See, his feet sank into the green sea and then his belly touched it and he sank no farther. No, that's all. It was not sinking. He was floating on it. That is the nature. That is the blessing. The birds will not sink. Okay, that is the nature. He was floating on it, but the young seagull didn't know. But now he understood. That experience taught him. And around him, his family was screaming, praising him, and their beaks were offering him scraps of dogfish. They were around him. It was landing on the water. All the other birds came. All the parents, family members, they came, and they were praising him. Well done, young seagull. They were praising, and they were offering dogfish. Okay, so here there are three kinds of fish we have come across. One is herring, another one is mackerel, and now dogfish. Okay, they offered him dogfish. Okay, Karungal is famous for fish, right? So you will not forget all the name of the fish. He had made his first flight. That's all. That is the story's ending. He had made his first flight. His refers to this young seagull. His first flight. Yes, it was afraid to fly, but it flew at last. Who was behind it? Mother, as well as its confidence. Okay, when the fear went away from him, it was flying and it enjoyed its life. Who wrote this story? Liam O'Flaherty. My dear children, hope you have understood the story. If you have any problem or any questions, any doubts in your mind, you can call me and get your doubts clear. Right? I hope I have taught you this lesson well. Any doubts, it will be explained over phone. Thank you, children. Study well for your examination. Prepare well. Read the lesson well. May God bless you. Thank you. Have a great time.